Cali with a hottie, You can see your body wanna party, And now we getting sloppy in the lobby, She a freak, but probably find her acting properly,
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ignorant millennials. How you guys doing?
Oh, shout out ignorant millennials. Welcome to our latest, freshest, and greatest episode. Guys, thank you for watching Ignorant Millennials. Please don't forget, like this video that you're watching right now. Go back to all of our other videos, like, subscribe, make sure you are getting the Ignorant Millennials brand out there. Thank you for all your support. But today
very special day.
Today is a very big and special show.
Yes, sir.
Guys, welcome to Priddy Ugly.
What's up, King?
Thank you for coming to the
Yo,
show.
man, thank you for having me here. Okay, shout out ignorant millennials. At one time, I told them I'm dressed in black today. Funeral
Drip
swag.
out.
I want to say why is a funeral swag with me?
Yeah.
Like, everybody, we coming for everybody. Everybody dies.
Okay, obviously, I feel like my entire salary is just sitting on his wrist.
Damn.
But obviously, success. We need to work and get to where we need to go.
Annual salary, eh?
Hey, man. Guys, obviously, Priddy Ugly joined us today for a very important episode. Today, we're going to discuss religion for our generation. Social media and a whole bunch of other things. We haven't been able to discuss topics like this outside of the church and outside of any spiritual temple that you choose to practice your worship at. And today you've really wanted us to have the conversation. Through your music and anything else, you get to speak to the youth, share a bit of who you are, and a big part of that is religion as well.
Definitely. Yeah.
So maybe you can tell us who Priddy Ugly is. But before we start, we normally have our quickfire.
Sure.
Kat wants to get through that.
All right, cool. Sure, let's get it.
Ronaldo or Messi?
Messi.
Okay.
Barca, baby.
Oh,
Legend.
All right.
Ronaldo's hard too, but Messi, untouchable.
Okay. Rihanna or Beyonce?
Look, Beyonce is queen,
Yeah.
but if anyone knows me, it's like Rihanna over Beyonce.
Fair.
But that's not as like a musician or whatever. It's just like I just mess with Rihanna.
Okay.
Yeah, she interests me.
Okay.
B's like, yo, she's taken. There's nothing. Nothing. She's queen. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. Let's hope Rihanna drops a new album as promised this year.
All right.
Then Lewis Hamilton or Michael Schumacher. This one is very important for me.
You say I'm gonna say Lewis, because we'll call him a black brother like us. So shout out. But yo, Michael Schumacher actually is interesting. I was actually reading up on him just the other day. 'Cause I was just wondering, I'm like, yo, since he went into his coma, did he ever come out of it? I wasn't really sure. I wasn't actually sure if he even passed away. Sorry. So I just had to do my research and,
He's got a son now, actually.
Yeah.
He's going to race for Ferrari. They're trying to get him to race for Ferrari next season or the next 2 seasons.
I heard about that, yeah. So, yo.
All right, next one. Biggie or Tupac?
Biggest question in hip hop.
The thing is, I started rapping because of Tupac.
Okay.
But I'm more of a Biggie fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Double entendres, metaphors, syllable, multi-syllabic raps. Biggie is untouchable.
Godly.
Poetic and just being able to relate to people. Tupac is
Okay.
it's quite but when it comes to raps, Biggie, definitely.
Okay. Iron Man or
Black Panther, baby. Wakanda forever.
Forever.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you for that quick fire.
Shout out.
So, obviously, people want to just know a little bit more about who Priddy Ugly is, what you're about, and most importantly, what it is about our religion topic that really speaks to you and why, you wanted to be part of this conversation.
Sure. Well, my name is Priddy Ugly, for those who don't know. I'm a rapper.
Yeah.
Not just a rapper, an artist, songwriter. I hate the word influencer. No, I hate how they use the term influencer.
Okay.
But I think I could call myself an influencer. Because influencer now, in this day and age, means someone who promotes brands on social media. No, but influencer in my term is yo, I see kids every single day who want to be just like me, who want their hair to be like mine, who want their whips, who want to have a girlfriend, who want to be in a committed relationship, who want to be independent just like me. So influencer in that sense. CEO of The Gas. The Gas is my company. It's The Gas stands for the Global African Stream.
Okay.
And where music is concerned, is the Global African Sound. Where fashion is concerned, is the Global African Style. So it's going to be like
I will see that
it's
constantly.
trust me. You know what I mean? We got visuals also, which is Global African Scenes. But anyway, The Gas.
Yes.
Remember the name.
The Gas.
Yeah, and I think this was dope for me because like my album is titled Egypt.
Yes.
Which is an acronym for everything godly, yearns, patience, and time. Yeah. So when we spoke about like doing this interview, I was like, dude, like I turn so many people down when it comes to interviews now because like I've done so many interviews, and usually like when you start to like when you're working on propelling your career, you only select certain people to do interviews. Like how many numbers do they have? Do they have a big following? It's based on stuff like that now. And this wasn't about that at all. It's just like, what's the substance of a conversation? What are we speaking about? Because I've had so many conversations and interviews where like I've done so many interviews where they ask me the same questions I've been asked in the last 10 interviews. It's like, you guys could have just ripped that from YouTube, So with this one, it was like different because like I don't usually like speaking about, politics and religion and spirituality like on an open platform because people get very touchy, And it's like, I think that was when I was like a lot younger. Now it's just like, shit, I'm grown, man, we're grown enough and I feel like, the people who are watching this and people who are fans of me and fans of you, would really appreciate this, Give them some insights a bit.
No, 100%.
Especially because of, the strength and the power source that you draw from your religion.
Definitely.
It's good to, acknowledge it and talk about it so that others can also gain from it.
Sure.
And I think, part of the conversation itself, we can even get into it. When I think of religion, I think of my faith, I think of Christianity, and that's what I believe in. That's how I was raised. I believe in going to church every week or as often as I can to be around other people, rejoice and be in that atmosphere, and that's how I practice it. Pray every day as often as I can. What about you? What's Priddy Ugly's religious practice and activity?
Mine is very different in the sense that I'm not religious at all.
Yeah.
But I am very highly spiritual.
Okay.
I grew up Catholic, Roman Catholic. My mom is Portuguese. I was born in Angola. Usually in Portuguese culture, they're Roman Catholics. So I had to get baptized, go through Holy Communion and all of that. Just there've been a lot of things that have tested my faith, and and
we want to get into that.
A lot of different things. But my issue with the bracket of religion is that if you say you're religious, then you subscribe to one religion. Whereas with me, like I believe in a lot of practices of Christianity and of Islam, and I take a lot from the Buddhist culture as well, the Buddhist religion as well. So if I was just Christian, then I'd just have to follow and conform to that. And if anyone knows me, just in life, I've never really been about like just conforming to one thing. I feel like for me, I've discovered what works best for me is by taking the best things in life, the things that I feel like can like increase or contribute to my positivity, because I've been around so many negative situations that I only really want to be surrounded by positivity. And when I do have negativity around me, it's about channeling that negativity or metamorphing it into positivity, So like Tai Chi, taking that guy's blow, you know what I mean? And then you take it back, come here, man. So, but I do pray. My album is titled Everything Godly, Patience and Time, because I feel like with whatever religion you believe in, ultimately you believe in a God, and that's what I believe in. I feel for me it's God above everything else. But how I even see God is very different. I see you as God. I see you as God. I see the trees as God. Life as God.
Because you touched on something quite important in saying that you don't necessarily conform to any one of the typical religious groups. And maybe being in South Africa and Africa as a whole, ancestors are a big part of who we are as people.
Definitely.
And a lot of the times young people and even older people struggle with, am I being faithful to the one if I also choose to practice the other?
Sure.
And there's a lot of conflict, and people will be hard on people who are trying to do both. Sure. What's your take on like those type of practices, especially in South Africa? It's strongly practiced, as well as everywhere else.
For me, it's like, dude, if it doesn't harm the next person, like, do what benefits you. You know, like for me, like my 10 commandments are like different. You know, I won't count them out as like 10 commandments, but it's just like, you know, like I just believe in like good karma and good energy. You know, like put out good energy and good energy will come back to you. Granted, there will be bad energy that comes your way. You'll be caught up in like tough situations, you know, negative situations. I've been hijacked before, you know, we've been in like different stuff, you know what I mean? So I'm not saying that because like I've only projected good into the world, stuff like that won't
ever happen.
No, it's like also just be cognizant of where you live. You live in the world and nothing is perfect, you know what I mean? In fact, sometimes things are not designed. In fact, most of the time, I believe that things are not designed in your favor. You need to acquire that favor for yourself. That's in your good karma, in how you treat people, in like your principles, your values. If you focus on yourself and your goals and what you're trying to do, if you focus on like building your brothers, you know, building with your brothers. If you focus on building with brothers, I don't mean just like family, you know, just like your fellow people, man, you know, like I try to support like everybody who I believe is doing what it is, what they can do to make the world better. But usually it starts with you doing something for yourself first. Like, you are a musician for yourself. I wanted to just be a musician for myself. I just wanted to make music.
Probably starts out that way.
You know, that's how it starts. And then you realize that, okay, people really like the message, or people are aspire to be just like you. And now it's like people have a particular reference of who you are. And usually they want that all the time. It's like, and then you ever evolving it, you know? I even lost your question because like I got into like.
No, you actually touched on it.
I want to ask like, how do you start your day? Like when you wake up, like, you know, for some people it's prayer, some people read the Bible, the Quran, whatever it is, and so forth. So with you, or some people believe in ancestors and whatever, like maybe like Bapasa and so forth. Like, what is it?
You know, and what I will say is that I've tried them all under the sun.
Okay.
Prayed in the morning.
Okay.
Shisad in Bebo in the morning, you know. It's something very recent, you know. But I've tried a lot of different things, but like I'm still a growing man, still growing in my spirituality, discovering different things. In fact, I was at another spiritual gathering just yesterday, actually. It was one of the first times I attended anything like that. I was the only black person there, surrounded by some white people. And other people call them hippies, because, you know, maybe that's how they look, but like, we were there. And we just spoke, dude, and we just spoke about positivity and how like the world can be a better place. Like I was there and people weren't seeing color, you know, and people believe in different things. There was an atheist in the room with me. There was a Christian with me. There was, you know, a person who believes in just smoking his marijuana. But like we were all in a room and like we all share positive energy. And it's just like, so we actually don't have to conform to the same rules. We don't have to, you know, like because they follow a different rule or a different law, we must kill them. You know, it's like, no, you can actually get along. And I feel like that's what the world is about, cohabiting. You know, it's just like they're going to be different people all the time. Now there's different cultures, there's different types of cultures in the country, different races, different religions. So just in this complex, there's different types of people, you know. So like you need to, I think if we all adapt and take from each other's cultures, you know, positive things, I think we can grow better as the world. But back to your question, what I do in the morning, I usually really like to have very quiet mornings. I tried meditating once, and then like every time I meditated, I only thought of lyrics, you know. So it's just like
I tried that recently, actually, meditation.
It's actually
it's quite good because for me, because it's even like one of the things I want to talk about, right? So when it comes to millennials, who all are now, to your point now, we're seeing you guys like going out in your career and seeing just beyond what you're doing now and going into business, right? Trying to busy doing a bunch of things and you really get distracted and you pray for like, you pray to God, like, God, can I just be more productive?
Sure.
And, you know, in addition to that, you look out there and what else can I do? You see a lot of people talk about meditation, and I'm like, okay, let me try it out. There's apps now. There's the one I use is called Headspace. I told D-Mac and Kat about Headspace, and they're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
But what I learned about Headspace and about meditation, and it changed my year so far, it isn't necessarily about clearing your mind.
Yeah.
It isn't about numbing everything else. It's about teaching you how to, at least the approach that they follow, how to be cognizant that your brain is drifting. And the more you are able to do that, you are more present. You're more cognizant of when you are drifting. And to your point, it's okay that you are now thinking of lyrics, because probably that is when your mind is the clearest.
Sure.
And through that, you achieve that productivity. And for me, in addition to my faith of practicing Christianity, it's what has helped. And maybe to ask you, with people who are becoming busy,
sure.
And I mean, you are trying like a whole bunch of different things, right? What would you say in the context of people like, I can't go to church, I'm busy, I can't do this, I'm busy, I don't have time for it. Do you think the millennial of today still, or religion still has a very big part to play to people of our age and generation?
I think it really does, you know. I think the mass majority of it needs to be changed in a different context. Like you need to be able to speak to the youth in their language. And I've actually found a few pastors online on YouTube. Okay. I'm not going to mention their names because I'm going to butcher their names now, you know. But you know, through having conversations with different people, hey, have you heard this guy? Oh, who is he? You know, check him out on YouTube. I was like, millennials, don't have time to go to church, or they feel like they don't have time to go to church. They're too exhausted. They come from the party the night before. They just got home at 6 o'clock. They're not going to be in church for another 3 hours. And the thing is, like, millennials I also understand them, because I don't want to say I'm a millennial, but like, I understand them in the sense that, like, I'm living in the space that they're living in. Like, I've gone to church and been judged on like my hair and tattoos and jewelry or whatever, you know. Millennials are like, what? Others got face tattoos. For them, it's like, yo, I don't want to go to a place where I'm going to be judged, you know. So it's like, yo, there is actually a place for religion and spirituality in your life. You know, you guys are on YouTube all the time. You can actually Google. Yes. You know, there's apps, like you said, you know. And sometimes it's just about like just taking time, bro. Just taking time. Like, you have so much time for naps and PlayStation and games and making music and recording and girls. It's like, maybe take 45 minutes just to be like yourself, just to be centered and just think about yourself, reflect within yourself. Like, what do you need to do? What do you need to do to be a better person? What do you need to do to contribute positively to the people closest around you? You know, your family members, your girlfriend, your squad that you're in, you know? It's like, because sometimes they treat meditation almost as like, it's just, you must be completely self-centered and think about yourself. No, think about like your value in other people's life, you know? Like, what you mean to the next person. Like, sometimes what motivates me is thinking about like how much my mom needs me.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That'll always get you.
So it's like, exactly, you know, how much my younger sister needs me. And it's like, oh, damn, I got a little brother now. He's like, he needs me. He needs a positive male role model in his life, you know, type situation. So yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. Like, I hear you there in terms of your brother needing you and everything else. So I just want to ask, like, obviously, so you have to be strong for people as well. Definitely. So where's that one time you felt spiritually down and like tested, you were like tested, you were like, you know what, I don't believe in anything anymore. I don't believe, like, where you were close to that, if you didn't experience, like, you were close to like I don't think there's even God. I don't think like there's no
there definitely was a time. There definitely was a time. I was 15, 2007. Yeah, 2007, around 2007. The girl that I was with at the time, her name was Larato. We were together for 4 years at the time. Even though I was young, we were still together for 4 years. And she passed away in a car accident, you know? Horrific car accident. And dude, you're just like the most positive like person. You know what I mean? Like I started rapping or taking rap and my sports more seriously like after she died, because like that's what she always like wanted me to do, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, yo dog, you dope. Like, why aren't you showing these people you can do this too? You know? And like she's like, I was very shy and timid before, so she got me like out of my shell, and like, you know, she was like a year and a half older than me. So, you know, girls mature much quicker, you know? So she was always putting me on to different things, music, life, whatever, you know? And and I spoke to her one day, everything was cool, and then like the next, like she was gone, you know? And I was like, nah, dog.
That's tough, man.
Like, do you know how many bad people I know, how many bad people I've encountered, and like they took her? So it was like,
but how do you overcome that? Because I mean, to your point, you were quite young then.
Sure.
And there's a huge thing. And I guess to Kat's point, there's a lot of people, you go as far in your faith, and then there's just that one moment that is quite challenging. How do you get past something like that?
It's crazy, dude. I don't really honestly remember how I overcame it at the time, because that's even when I stopped going to church.
Yes.
You know, and like then I felt like, oh, I'm not really like a Christian anymore, but like I still had a very like spiritual connection like with the world. You know, or a higher power. You know, and like as much as like she was taken from me, I was still protected in so many situations where I knew that like,
if it wasn't
I could have
something
been
else,
gone. I don't know, something divine happened that protected me. You know, whether it's Jesus Christ, God, the Holy Spirit, however you see it. But like for me, it's just like, I was really guarded, you know, and it's like, and that time I was like a crumper, you know, and like crumping is like a very spiritual thing. Movement is very spiritual, you know? And I don't know, dude, like when I started crumping, like every time I crumped, I felt like,
let it out,
I felt God, you know? Like whether he's around or watching me or within me, I felt him,
On the upside of like that question, I just want to ask then as well, then what was that one time where you felt like, man, God pulled through for me, like, or things like you're feeling abundantly blessed, like the blessings are just coming in, like, oh my word.
It's crazy, I feel it like every day, bro.
Shout out.
Like, oh God, oh God.
Yes, sir. I mean, that's what you
sir. Like I feel it every day, you know, some days are worse than others, but like for me, like the gift of like life, you know, living to the next day, bro, that's like a blessing. Like, yo, you got me. I just come from a funeral, you know what I mean? And the other week, I had another family member that died. I have friends that died. Just so many things, you know what I mean?
And we're still here.
And it's like, and we're here having this conversation, you know. So it's like we're gifted, we're blessed. You know what I mean? It gives you an opportunity to go out there and like and make a difference in life. But like there has been like a tough moment, you know. I got hijacked in 2017. I was with my partner. 2015, June 16 actually. And bro, it was crazy. It was crazy. How it happened was crazy, quick. And it's like, bro, I came out of that thing like unscathed, not scarred,
you held at
not,
gunpoint,
bro, all of that. Like my 5 guys, guns, I was beaten up, you know, my girl was in the passenger seat and like she wasn't touched. And I just kept, you know, the reason why they kept hitting me is because I kept saying, please don't touch the girl, you know.
That is divine intervention, right?
Bro, and like, you know, so many times the guys like, you know, pulled the gun in my face and like, and didn't shoot me, you know? And we got out of that, we walked home, like 10 minutes after the guys hijacked the car. This was like close to where I stayed in Kimpson Park. 10 minutes after we hijacked, I mean, you know, the guy took the car. It took us 10 minutes to get back home. By the time I got home, they had just called my father to say, yo, were you in a car accident? This is the police, I guess we're calling it. And he's like, no. And he sees me come in, you know, they're wondering, and he's like, yo, anyway, so he hangs up, he doesn't know what's happening, comes outside to me, like, what's happening? I'm like, no, I just got hijacked. The police call him back, they're like, yo, sir, Mr. Muloy, we just found your car, they crashed, you crashed into a wall and you left your car or something? And he was like, no, my son just got hijacked, you know? And the car was literally like 2 streets away from where I stay, you know, so also, that was like God saying, hey, like, they won't touch you, dog, you know? Because like they took this car away from me, they didn't take my life away from me. It's like, yo, but after they tried to take the car, they couldn't even get like 3 kilometers away. They crashed the car. We got the car, insurance paid out, we got a better car. It was like, yo.
And those are the moments. Those are the moments you didn't realize you do have a higher purpose, right? And we touched on it just before the interview started. And you know, with maybe your celebrity and influencer and your status, some of the when it comes to religion, things like sex before marriage or like the pursuit of success, being it in money, in the context of what we understand as religion, a lot of things are frowned upon, right, in that sense. What is your take on that? Because all of us are in the matrix now going through that. What would you say how we should view things like that?
I mean, for me, it's like, it makes perfect sense. Like, don't have sex before marriage, guys, because like, you're young, you're kids, you're gonna have a kid, you know, or get sick, or, you know, because that's what you're thinking. And it's like, also, I just feel like when, you know, when the Bible was written a very, very, very long time ago, that everything that is in it was intended to be, you know, like, you know, just like a set of rules and a set of stories of, you know, of triumph, where, you know, it could have even been the story I told you now, like, you know, Ricardo was in a situation and 5 gunmen came at him. He survived that, you know, through God, you know, and a lot of those stories of that was like people overcoming what was happening in that time, you know, and with the help of God and assistance of God. And then in that, they also give like their rules and like what helped them. But it's like, there's still a lot of stuff that is, you know, that I may not agree with, you know, like I have like one partner, you know, Father Abraham had many sons, and you know,
so it doesn't mean like, you must now do that as well.
Exactly. So I feel like there are definitely rules in there that like help guide the natural system of things. And it's like, in them saying no sex before marriage, it makes perfect sense, because like, guys, you know, most guys, you know, are only with females for the sex, and it's just like, then he sleeps with you, leaves you with the kid, he leaves type situation. So I understand why those rules were there, but for me it's different. It's like, I've been having sex way before marriage, but like, I'm still with the same person I've been with for the last 12 years.
And I must say that is impressive and exemplary, because I mean, I think a lot of our youth need that, and that's awesome.
So
yeah,
unfortunately we don't have any much time left, so I just like, for in conclusion there, what are you working on?
Sir.
Rick J there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. New project's coming out. It's called DNA.
Okay.
And DNA stands for the New Africa.
Okay.
All right.
So it's Rick Jade, so myself and Muntla Mudisela. And the New Africa is just like, you know, it's a 7-track project.
Okay.
It's a part 1. There's a part 2 coming.
First time working together properly?
Definitely, yeah. So I mean, really cool. Rick Jade, we started it in December last year, December 17th. Bunte had always had dreams of just like working on a song. And the day we decided to work on a song, we did 3 songs. And then since then, we have like 30, 40 songs. You know?
Are amazing,
so, so the first project drops now in July.
Okay.
I don't want to give a date yet,
fine,
because we're still in mixing and mastering phase, and then, you know, still want to do a proper rollout for it. But it is done, 7 tracks. Afro beats, kwaito, hip hop, fusion, survive. Look out for that. And the Hosh music video. I think by the time you guys watch this, myself, Youngster, CPT, Wichi,
you guys created magic once again.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Sir.
Okay.
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
Yes, sir.
Guys, look, man, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much,
I love
brother.
this. Guys, Priddy Ugly song with Nadina Kai. It's playing right now. Played in the beginning. Please like, subscribe, Ignorant Millennials. Thank you.
Please buy the song.
Get extremely,
Cheers.